All right, so we're going to be rotating this shape, okay, around point P. So we're going to connect the dots here. From P to A, let's connect those dots, just that one. All right, like so. Okay, so just connect P to A for right now. I can zoom in some there. Okay, using the straight edge of your protractor. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure our angle of rotation. Now, we have to be careful here. Not only do we need to know the angle, 150 degrees, we need to know the direction. The direction says counterclockwise. So does that mean I want to measure like up like this, 150 degrees, or do I want to measure down like this, 150 degrees? Up, right. Counterclockwise is this direction. So I don't want to do this way. I want to measure this direction, and I need to measure 150 degrees. Since I want to measure this direction, my protractor, okay, what should I center my protractor on? What point should I center my protractor on? On point P, okay, and we're going to place our protractor so that the angles are measuring in this counterclockwise direction here. So line your protractor up. Mine's this kind of protractor, so I have to line it up this way. Okay, line it up that way. All right, and now we want to measure counterclockwise 150 degrees. Now again, I've got two sets of numbers here. This is one side of my angle, and I want to measure out 150 degrees. So should I use the inner set of numbers or the outer set of numbers here? Ooh, okay, so let's see here. So if I look over here, my inner set of numbers is here. My outer set of numbers starts at 180. Which set should I be starting with? I should be starting at 0, right, and then counting up. So I'm going to go around to, there's 150 right there. So I'm going to go above that 150 and mark, just like that. And then I'm going to draw from P to that little point right there. Okay, just like that. And I drew it way longer than I do, but there. All right, so now we know. Question, sorry?
You're not 150, if you like line it up point A and B, then you go over to 150, right?
So again, you center it on point P.
Right.
Measure 150 degrees from, like, starting at the 0 numbers, measure out 150 degrees to right there. And I guess he came up a little bit. Anyway, okay, there it is. 150 degrees. Now, grab your tracing paper. Okay? And your paper needs to fit. And you can set it, you can draw this anywhere on your paper. I like to be really economical with my paper and reuse it a whole bunch. So I'm going to put it right here in the corner of my paper. And I'm going to line it up. Now here's the things you need to have on your paper. You need to have point P, because that's important for our center of rotation. So draw point P. And then we're also going to draw points A, B, and C as well. Okay? I'm going to label those A, B, C. And I'll call that point P, I guess. Might as well, right? Okay? Put the paper on top. Yep, and we're going to trace it, because then we're going to transfer. You'll see here in a second. We're going to transfer. Yeah, point P, point A, B, and C. And I also like to copy this line from P to A as well. I'm going to freehand it, which is dangerous, but that's okay. Okay. Straight edge is a better way to go there.
So we're going to make the triangle with AB.
So you don't have to connect the dots for ABC. If you want to, you can, but you don't need to. I just have this from P to A. Okay, so now we want to rotate this. Well, to do that, we're going to hold our point P in place. We're going to take our paper and go around till what should line up? The PA, right, should line up right there. So there it is. So P is still on P, and then my little segment is lined up there. And you can see where B and C line up. Now the problem is, I know where the points are supposed to go, but how am I supposed to transfer B to the paper behind it? Okay? So, here's how you're going to do that. We're going to pick our paper up and flip it over. And I want you to draw on the back of A, B, and C. Somewhere here on your desk, draw on the back of A, B, C. So like basically redraw A, B, and C on your paper. Okay, just use your pencil and just draw on the back of A, B, and C.
Anywhere?
On the back of A, B, and C. Exactly. So on the back of A, B, and C. Okay. All right. So now, why did we do that? Because now when I do my rotation and put it back where it's supposed to go, okay, so redo your rotation there, line up P and this segment. If you draw, sorry, I flipped my paper back over, by the way, folks, right? It's P, A, B, and C. It's on the correct side. Do that rotation, and now draw on A, B, and C, and the points transfer. Okay, and then connect those dots. And then connect those dots. So yeah, don't forget to draw on the back of your paper, the tracing paper there. Yep, exactly right. Okay, so again, to review, we copied from P to A. Okay, so we copied that segment P to A. We copied points P, A, B, and C. Okay, we rotated it, but when you realize when you just rotate it, okay, there's no way to get these points on the tracing paper to my paper, my actual work that I want to show. So instead, we drew on the back of our tracing paper. We drew points A, B, and C. Okay, did the rotation again, and then since we drew on the back of the points, when I draw on A, B, and C, they'll transfer back to the paper right there like that. Okay, so there's the rotation of 150 degrees.
Draw the little triangle.
Yeah, then connect the dots. Reconnect the dots. Yeah, then reconnect the dots. Okay. All right, questions? Anyone stuck on that? Anyone having trouble there? Okay, we're not quite done. We have one more thing. We want to rename these points. So, yeah, what is this point's name? It's going to be A prime. What's that? I'll come take a look at it here in a second, okay? Okay, so this is A prime right here. What's this point right here? It's going to be C prime. And then this point is B prime. Okay, it could just be... Okay, so I think you drew it, I think you maybe did it upside down.
You just made your own point.
There's where it should be. You never put the kids back over, you just transferred from, so you want to put it back to the original and then do it. And that's where your point should be. Alright, let's try another one here. Let's try another one. Okay, so we did the rotation there. Let's try another one. Okay? So next, let's go to letter B on the next page. Okay, letter B on the next page. Okay, so letter B asks us to do a clockwise rotation of 75 degrees around point Q. All right, so let's practice that. So again, we start with our picture here. We need to show that 75-degree rotation first. We start by drawing some points in. Okay, so draw your little points, D, E, and F. Okay, like so. Actually, I wonder if I can do it this way. We may be able to save ourselves having to flip our paper over and draw on the back, I think. Let me check something here. All right, we'll see if this works. Okay, so we're going to connect Q and D here. It doesn't really matter which 2 points you connect to Q, or which point you connect to Q, but I like to pick the closer of them. So Q to D, there it is. All right, now, I want to go 75 degrees clockwise. So does that mean I want to go like to the left, like this, or do I want to go to the right, like that? Yeah, clockwise is this direction, so it is not this arrow. I want to go this direction. So that means my protractor should go on the left side or the right side here?
Right.
On the right side. So it's got the protractor. This is weird, right? The protractor is going to go like this. Now, you can turn your book if you want to. So like, I don't like how my protractor is like practically upside down here, so I'm going to turn my book so I can kind of like get it adjusted to a normal kind of protractor position there. Okay, you can turn your book if you need to. Now, we want to measure 75 degrees. Should I start at the 180 or should I start at the 0? Yeah, start at 0 and count around to 75. Now I think that's like right here. Okay, 71, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, so there it is. Make a 75-degree angle mark, and then we're going to connect Q to that mark. Okay, so there's the 75-degree. I'm going to turn my paper back to its correct position there. Okay. Now, we're going to trace. Now, I think if you drew D, E, and F here dark enough with your pencil, so if you drew it pretty heavily with your pencil there, when you go and trace, so I'm going to trace point Q, I'm going to trace point D, E, and F. I'm going to label those two, D, E, F. Okay, so trace them. I'm also going to connect D and Q. Okay. So there they are, and I'm going to rotate it down. There it is, okay, matched up. Now, we may not have to flip our paper over. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to draw on point D, E, and F, and we may not need to flip our paper over. Ooh, it barely works. I can just barely make out the points. Right there. Okay? Again, how did that work? Well, because when we traced D, E, and F, it picked up some of the pencil that was already on the paper there, and so I was just barely able to make it out. If it doesn't work, you need to draw on the backs of your points. Okay? So if all else fails, just draw on the back of D, E, and F, some. Okay? And then rotate it. Okay? And then you can see that it does really show up then. So there are your points. Okay, D, E, and F. And then connect the dots. Okay? And then let's rename them. Please make sure you name them correctly, right? D is the closest point, so D prime will be the closest to Q. E is the next closest, so E prime will be the next closest, and F is the furthest, so F prime will be the farthest there, okay, from there. Okay, and there's a rotation of 75 degrees. All right, so turn your paper over, and I want you guys to try one, okay? So let's just go ahead and have you try number 4 here, okay? Do a counterclockwise rotation of 40 degrees around point P. All right? So go ahead and try number 4 on your own. I'll do it real quick and I'll come around and help. Okay? Do number 4 on your own, please.
We don't want on our own.
Try this on your own here, folks. Number 4 on the next page. On page 90, number 4, please.
See how you did on your own.
Make sure you do the correct direction, that's the word I wanted, of the angle rotation there too. Okay, this is a very technical thing we're doing here, right? Lots of opportunities to make some errors and stuff. So this is not easy. If you're having trouble with it, it is challenging. Lots of technicalities. Okay, try that rotation there. Good job. Good. Good. Yeah, it doesn't really write on there, does it? Yeah. That's the one thing about these. The pencil is the best. Question? Yeah, I think you measured the wrong set of numbers. Let me just check them up here.
Oh.
Yes, you measured 40, but you measured the wrong set. Your side of your angle is right here, right? The first side of the angle. So we shouldn't count from the 180. We should count from the 0 set of numbers. So it's the inner set you want to do. So there's the 40 that you. So you understand that point. You have to be careful about which one you use. Right there. There you go. You're welcome. Right. Oh, I see you're saying like what? That was like Mr. Booth taught you guys that. I'm okay with that. Yes. Yeah. That's fine. Yep. You can see mine up there too. Right, counterclockwise is this direction, so we're still going to we're still measuring. We still are going counterclockwise here, right? It's going this direction, 40 degrees, right? That was 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees, so it's still counterclockwise.
You can do better.